Let's see if we are able to get on. It says we are going. Okay. It says we are connected.
We are green. We're not
the top is saying we have no internet connection, but this says we're green, so we will have to see if the chat comes back up.
Or if we need to find a second chat. That's possible.
Maybe.
Not sure if they'll come into the same chat or a different chat.
Not sure how the chat's going to go.
Hi again.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Somebody found us.
Coffee time found us.
Coffee time
I said
found
no coffee.
Okay.
Glenn's back.
There's Glenn. Okay.
Now the weather.
Hopefully the weather's gonna let up a little bit. It's been kind of crazy here.
It was thundering and booger. I don't know that it actually rained right then. It was just,
it was pouring down rain. Yeah. Okay.
Not bad, but it was raining. But the thunder's what was worse. And when it thunders and the cloud cover.
The cloud cover's what it
takes our internet for a few minutes. Okay. Sheila, you're not late.
You're not late, Sheila.
We're still having issues.
We're having bad weather internet issues.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so probably nobody heard anything I said a while ago at all, right?
Probably not.
I'll probably take down the last stream and we'll start all over.
We'll just start over again.
Okay.
We're halfway through it. It still says we have no internet, but I know they're hearing us, so I know we do.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, the tower says we're still going.
Okay. So we've got 2 or 3 people made it back in. My nose is itching. Y'all must be talking about us
bad.
Y'all ever heard that? If your nose is itching, somebody's talking about you?
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all, mine is just like I want to claw it off right. They talking bad.
Talking bad.
Really bad. Okay, so we'll probably have to start all over talking about Canon because really the other one, I don't even know if y'all even heard anything we said about Canon a while ago because about the time we started.
Evidently not, because many of them ain't figured out how to get back over here yet.
Yeah.
There it is.
Mark made it. And
a lot of them are
hearing fireworks rumbling. Okay, from one thunder to the next, huh?
Yep.
All right, seeing here fine now. Okay, so it's kind of straightened out.
Most of them have not.
They're saying that you're about to get in a fight. Oh, we're not fighting, are we?
I hope not.
You know I'd win.
Okay, Orphan Lady said, didn't hear much.
Okay, so we'll just give it a second. We'll start over. Oh, if your nose itches, you're going to kiss a fool.
Oh.
That's just wrong.
Christy Beth says she heard 14 quarts in March was the last thing they heard.
Okay, so y'all didn't. Let's see. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Let me go back. Okay. April was the next thing. So let me just start back and give a brief synopsis. We're talking about canning and how much we've canned since the beginning of the year. January and February, we didn't can anything. March, we canned 14 quarts. Okay, which is not a lot, but we had a lot going on, and we were just getting into the canning for the year. April, we canned 35 quarts and 98 pints. Some of it turnips, carrots, fingerling potatoes, English peas, ground beef, and red potatoes. So 35 quarts and 98 pints is a lot, but most of it would have been English peas, fingerling potatoes, and carrots as far as the pints. And the quarts was the turnips. We put a lot of turnips up during April. During April, our mulberries, huckleberries, strawberries, mayhaws, and blackberries were coming in. In March, the strawberries and asparagus had started. So we were putting up some of these things as well, but not canning them. So
you didn't miss anything, Amanda. We had done a stream for like 20 minutes, and then it just kind of the weather
could hear us.
The weather's so bad it knocked us off.
Yeah.
So we just figured we'd start over.
So in May, when we kicked in, 121 pints, 67 quarts. It was carrots, potatoes, English peas, dried beans, rabbit broth, apple cranberry jelly, some butter, green beans, So all this stuff is what we were canning in May. And I'm just kind of briefing through it so I can show you how much we've canned lately. I have not added June up yet. And today we did...
A bunch.
You said 20-something quarts today.
No,
not all of them quarts.
We weren't all quarts. We did 32 jars today, but all of them weren't quarts.
I thought it was 22. I think it was 22.
Was it 22?
22 jars today.
Okay.
Okay, but in June, we have been canning like crazy. And 65 quarts we did for a friend. That's not even in what I'm fixing to read you for June.
Yeah.
We did 65 quarts for her on top of what I'm fixing to tell you. We did 8 pints of peaches, 8 pints of peach jelly, 59 quarts of green beans, and that doesn't count today.
No, it doesn't count today.
We did 5 more today.
Yes.
So green beans, 59,
63.
4.
Oh, we did 5 of them. 64.
64 quarts of green beans. 63 plus I just did 7. That's 70 quarts of red potatoes, 9 pints and 31 quarts of tomatoes, 3 pints of sweet relish, 4 pints of English peas, 7 quarts and 1 pint of red river peas, 2 pints of lady peas, 2.5 pints of sweet pickles, 1 pint of butter peas, 23 pints of ground beef, 5 pints and 2 quarts of stir fry, 5 quarts of turkey broth, 4 pints of adzuki beans, 1 quart and 5 pints of carrots, 13 quarts of apple. We did apple. No, that's it with apples.
That was apples, no.
13 quarts of apples so far. 18, and we just did 22 quarts of whole figs and 3 pints, and 5 pints of blueberry jelly. And I haven't added all that up, so I'm not sure of the total there because that's a lot of jars. But when I added up for the total of the whole 6 months, we were up about 320 quart jars and over 250 pint jars so far.
Yeah.
So people have asked, what are we going to do with all that food and when is enough enough? So that's what we were going to talk about a little bit tonight.
Glenn says, so what are we going to do in our spare time?
We're going to take a vacation. Yeah, right.
Spare time? We don't know what spare time is.
Oh, on top of that, I do YouTube and I cook.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And we take care of animals.
And we take care of animals in a farm.
And we take care of the weeds in the garden.
And we weed and we mow and we bush hog and we build things, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, we've got a lot going on. But I've learned to incorporate the canning into our everyday life because just like this morning, we got up, we picked green beans. We went and pulled weeds.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, and we went and pulled weeds in the...
Pick figs.
Yeah, the figs is out all the time.
Yeah,
we go in and out all day.
The figs is 2 or 3 times a day.
We pulled weeds in the sweet potatoes for a little while.
Yeah.
And then we came in and I started canning. And by lunchtime, Danny helped me. We had done the green beans.
I cut up a bunch of potatoes and canned them.
We canned potatoes. And I had done... Oh, I forgot about the pickles. I did red hot pickles.
Yeah.
So the red hot pickle video will be sometime next week on Crazy Days, I'm pretty sure. So what we're doing in this amount, 300 and 250, that's 550, between 550 and 600 to add up today.
550 and 600 as of today.
Because we added 20-something more to I had counted this
Yeah.
before. Oh, and wash dishes. That's all I do is wash dishes.
She constantly washes
I'm washing dishes
Yeah.
all the time because if Danny's helping me can, he's got it going on and I'm steadily washing dishes, redoing, coming back, washing more. I mean, it's all the time.
It is, yeah.
But right now we have enough green beans, English peas, potatoes, fingerling potatoes, carrots that we're going to be okay for at least a year to 2 years.
1 to 2 years, yeah.
That's how much we've got. I only like canning, what, 2 5-gallon buckets or 1.5 of potatoes?
2.
Yeah, I had 4 last week, guys. 2 of them's gone, 2 of them left to do. I'm getting there with potatoes. But what we've got left to do for the year, we've still got apples, figs, pears, our muscadines and scuppernong's going to be coming in. Then we've got green beans, tomatoes, squash, field peas, okra, and then sweet potatoes
this fall.
to can. And then in October, November, the sugar cane. So once next month is over,
yeah,
we'll kind of be in a lull. Plus, we will be doing meat off and on and butter and things like that off and on throughout the rest of the year.
Deep South Texas says, did Danny get those extra shelves built? No, not yet.
That's where he's fixing to be.
That's where I've got to be. We've got stuff stacked everywhere.
My dining room is loading up all of a sudden, and the shelves down in the cellar are full. So we're fixing to build shelves possibly this next week if he can get to it.
If the temperatures will let up where I can. It's been being 107 to 108 degrees every day, and I can't.
Yeah.
I got heat exhaustion the other day, and I'm not over it now. Even sitting here, I'm dizzy feeling and all that, so I'm still trying to get over the heat exhaustion from 2 or 3 days ago.
Yes, he every day this week. I think you did that like Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he has not been able. When he goes outside, all of it comes back again. He has to come in. He can't stay out very long during the day. He can only go out first thing in the morning for about an hour, hour and a half, and then he's done.
Pat Skelton said, are y'all interested in being a woofer at my place? I wouldn't be a good woofer.
I would. Living Miracle says, I don't think people understand how much food it takes to get through a year. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. How many times a day do you eat? How many days a year do you eat? Multiply it. If Danny and I figured 1 jar a day per person.
1 jar a day per person, yeah.
And there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
And so that's 2 jars a day times 365 days. And that, if you do that, you're, what, 6 something? Between 600 and 700 jars if you want to figure it that way. Okay, so if we only ate...
Well, it would be 830 jars.
Okay, so
for 2 years, yeah.
For 1 year. 365 and 365.
Oh, it'd be for 1 year, yeah. It'd be 800, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I have to have a calculator.
Yeah, the 830 jars.
So what we figured is only on those jars, but things like peanuts. Oh, we have pictures here too. I forget. We have lots and lots of pictures. But we'll go through some of the jars of stuff we have here. But things like peanuts, we did 2 years ago. And we did enough peanuts that we haven't done peanuts again for 2 years. And I still have enough peanuts for the next year. So we don't do everything every year.
Okay, Deborah says that the heat got her.
Other people have, yeah, the heat is just, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Okay, we're going to, this is here. This is today, isn't it?
No, those are carrots that I put up.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I see
back when I was canning carrots.
Yeah.
Okay, in one day, this is what I did of carrots. This was last month, I believe, or maybe 2 months ago. I don't know. But one day, this is how many carrots I did in one day. And I did this several times because we, like I told you, we put up a lot of carrots because guess what? We eat carrots several times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you got a bigger family, you got to figure more than that.
You got to figure more than we're figuring.
At least 1 jar per person, and if you got 5 people, you're talking 5 jars. This is when we were canning English peas back in April, I think. And
we canned all the way up to May, so yeah. April and May. Yeah.
This was one of the days I did English peas. This is what my table looks like right about now.
Yeah, this is just what we did in the last couple of days.
Yeah. I've got all of it spaced out. Potatoes, I think I can't even tell what's in all the jars.
I
But
see
probably tomatoes, green beans.
Green beans.
I mean, we've got a variety.
There's a variety of stuff there.
All right, this is some rabbit broth and adzuki beans. And the rabbit broth we use in soups and things. You can make dumplings. Anywhere you would use broth, you can use the rabbit broth. A lot of people are kind of weirded out about it, but if you come to Deep South, chances are you have something with rabbit broth in it. The adzuki beans they're great to add, like use them in the place of red beans, but they make a great dip. You open them up, drain them, mash them up, and add your seasonings you want, and it's a great bean dip.
Tammy, no, we don't rotate our crops. We grow the same thing year after year because we grow literally everything that we're going to eat, we grow.
But the thing is, like with the peanuts, we don't always grow them because we don't need them. It's not that we're rotating anything out. It's just we don't need that many because we're not eating that many peanuts.
Yeah, and then this is
some of the tomatoes, and like I said, we've done so many jars of tomatoes so far. Lots and lots of tomatoes.
Lots of tomatoes. Okay, let's check out this one.
More carrots.
These are carrots that she's been canning.
Yeah.
In pint jars. We always put our carrots in pints if we can because it seems to work out better like that for us.
Yeah, the carrots and English peas I put in pints. This was tomatoes, green beans, apples, and whole figs. This was a couple of days ago
because we went and got the apples off one of our trees. So yeah, this was a couple of days ago.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, and this was green beans. Probably, I might have done those today. That might have been when I took the green beans out today, I believe.
It probably was when you took them out today.
Yeah. One jar per person is not enough if you don't have something to go with it. Well,
in a survival situation, yes, it would be. Yeah.
You would have to limit yourself to 1 jar per person.
Yeah.
And possibly even 1 jar per 2 people if something happened and you were having to stretch food. And I've even heard of in Depression times, the husband and wife chose to alternate days eating, where the husband ate one day, the wife ate the next.
Yeah.
That way you spread your food out even further. And I know you guys think that's kind of weird, but if you don't have very much food and you're trying to live day to day on what you have, Danny eating one day, me eating the next, that takes the food even further.
Terry wants to know how long you can the pints of figs. I know the quarts are 50 minutes.
Pints are 45.
Pints are 45, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the red potatoes that we dug up out of our field here.
And we do leave the skins on because there are potatoes, and these were done, you know, if you buy the potatoes in town, I would peel them.
I would peel them if I bought them, yeah.
Because they're already older, tough skins, things like that, plus the chemicals on them.
Okay.
These are
red ones, red hot.
Red hot pickles. Video coming up next week, hopefully. I just canned these today. I had 2 pints and 4 half pints. And y'all, these things taste amazing. I had about a half a pint that I think I ate every one of them. I was going to do another half pint, and I decided nope. So I ate a half a pint of these red hot pickles. They're just good.
Yeah. This is your butter, isn't it?
Yes, I can butter. I've got, I don't know, I usually do it in half pints because it's easier to open and get it out, and I do it in wide mouth in the pint jars. So I have mostly half pints, but a few pints of butter. Do I have a dumpling video? I think so, but I don't know.
I think you did.
I don't remember. We've got over 1,000 videos. I really couldn't tell you.
There should be one in there somewhere. Now, this is the
That's the ground beef we did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I did this one. I usually raw pack, but I did not raw pack this time. We went ahead and browned this ground beef, then put it in and put beef broth over it. I made my own beef broth. I cooked it out the night before from some bones that our friend brought us that we bartered for. And this meat was superb, guys. It did not splatter. There was no fat hardly at all in this beef. As you can see, there's a little bit around the top, but for the most part, and that probably came from the broth.
Steel Horses wants to know, how long does canned butter last?
I had some that was 1.5 years old, and it was still good, and I have 1 jar left that's going on almost 2 years, and I'll open it soon and tell you if it's still good. So far, I've had no issues with it for almost 2 years.
Okay.
I purposely keep a jar, several jars, and open them periodically so that I can test it. This is some of our peanuts that we canned 2 years ago, and we still have probably 15 or 20 jars. Over a year, that's something I like on occasion, so it's like, you know, maybe, what, a jar every two months or so.
Well, they got a lot of salt in them, and your body's going to need some salt. We try to take those kind of things into consideration.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Deb Free says, which is the best way to can ground beef? I have never canned any before. You can actually do it one of 2 ways.
You can raw pack, or you can brown it and put it in broth like I did. The raw packing, Danny and I really liked it. But after doing, and I've not opened this one with the broth yet. We've not tried any, but we did try the stir fry the other day. And I did the stir fry. We browned it, poured the beef broth over it, and canned it. And a couple of days ago, I opened a jar just so we could see what it was like and made stir fry with it, and it was awesome. Did you like it?
Yeah.
So we're good with it. But also, no, we didn't buy this meat in town.
No.
We bought it from
We bartered with it.
We bartered, actually, and got it from a slaughterhouse. So
yeah.
The girl that brought it to us, she added nothing. It is simply beef ground up.
Eileen said, with the extreme heat in the South, where do you store your canned butter? I would think it would melt.
I keep mine in my pantry, so the air conditioner's going. It's ready.
And it never really melts.
No, if you open it, it's already it's creamy like whipped butter. But when you put it back in the fridge after you open it, it goes right back to a solid.
Terry says, does it matter what kind of butter you use when canning butter?
Unsalted butter.
Yes.
And the real butter.
The real butter, real cream butter.
Yeah, unsalted butter.
Okay, Marshall Farm said they're finally getting some rain at this moment. Okay, let me move on up here a little bit.
That is, it looks like snakes, I guess.
It looks like snakes in a test tube or something. But.
That is our stir fry. Danny cut it in strips like we like for stir fry. And like I said, we took and browned them, then added broth, and then canned it. And all your meat goes for 1.5 hours in a pressure canner.
Yeah, so that worked out pretty good. We're nearing the, well, we got a few more to go here.
See what he's up to. This is some of our squash. We canned these actually last year, I believe. I don't think we canned these, but I was going to show you. These still look good. They were last year's squash. I open them, use them in things. I make, we've asked, a lot of people have asked how they do. They are mushy when you open them. But I don't know how you would cook squash and it not be mushy. 99% of the time it is. We stir fried some yesterday, and as long as you don't cook it very long, it still holds together. If you cook it for any amount of time or put it in the fridge and take it back out, it turns to almost mush. So to me, squash is squash. You can eat it any way you want and add it to casseroles and stuff. Albany
Mountain Homestead said, wouldn't salt help with preserving the butter? Albany, the reason we don't use buttered salt.
Salted butter.
Same difference. If it if you use salted butter and you go to do a recipe, then when you do the recipe, you already have salt in it and you don't know how much salt to add. So we would rather do the unsalted butter. And the fact that butter is mostly fat, it's not going to ruin. It may go rank after, what, 3 or 4 years maybe?
I know I followed Starry Hilder's recipe, and she said she was still using some that was 5 years old. Okay, I've not made it to 5 years because mine's only one jar that I have left is almost 2 years old.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you past what I know. I just know that she used hers that she claimed was up to 5 years old. So at least a year and a half, mine's been good. And the last jar that I'll open up in maybe next month will be close to 2 years old. I would say going a year and maybe 9, 10 months old. So I know that right now is still good.
Time for Living says, Danny and Wanda, do you know what a dumbwaiter is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Oh, let's see here. Okay.
Can you blanch the squash, then can it? Would it help? You do blanch the squash.
Yeah.
These are some of our fingerling potatoes.
Yep.
We put up quite a few of these because these just have the buttery taste. We love them.
They taste like they got butter on when you cook them fresh.
Yeah, they
Even though you don't even have to add nothing.
Got a great taste. Yeah, see, Sherry says she takes her canned squash and adds chopped onions in a skillet with no oil. It turns out great. That's the way I cooked them the other day,
Yeah.
and tasted fine to me. If you use it as a side dish with peas or beans or and a meat, you're good.
Turnip greens and roots.
That's the turnip roots. Yes,
Yeah.
we did do the greens and the turnip roots. I have somebody, Sherry says she drank, no, wait, Vicky said she made squash puppies this week. Wanda, do you have a video? Yes, I do somewhere, I think. Didn't we do a squash puppy recipe?
I think we did.
I don't know. That would have been maybe close to 2 years ago, so I'm not sure.
There's Miss Sarah dropping in on us here.
Yeah. So,
Terry, fingerling potatoes are a little bit different than regular potatoes. They harvest a little bit earlier than regular potatoes do.
And they don't get very big.
They're very small. They're like your fingers, literally. I mean, some of them may get a little longer, up to 3 or 4 inches long, but they don't. It's not real rare.
She's saying we need a dumb waiter for the root cellar. Actually, the root cellar's not in the house, so it wouldn't make sense to have a dumb waiter in the root cellar because it's out there.
Yeah.
And I would have to go down and then come back up anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
So, yeah, if it was under my house, it would make perfect sense to have a dumb waiter.
Okay.
Do fingerlings grow better than regular potatoes? Did you answer that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you were answering.
That's what we were talking
Do we
about.
can pickled okra? I don't can pickled okra, but I can okra to fry.
To fry, for
and
frying.
so we will be doing a video on that again. We did that last year. Mr. Charles at Old Alabama Gardener, he and I talked. I saw his video, then he called and we talked about it. And I followed his recipe, and we do like the okra for frying in a jar. So we will try that again this year. I've still got some, and I opened some, 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And still good after about a year, year and a half. This was peas I canned. I did a variety. I had some English peas that were in the freezer that I needed to take out of the freezer, so I took those out. I had lady peas, red ripper peas, and butter peas.
Yeah.
So I jarred each one separately, but they were all in the same canner.
Sherry says, what is the approximate number of days to harvest for fingerlings? I think it's 80 or 90 days, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Adrian remembers the squash casserole that Freedom Makers made at our house. Yes, that is the most awesome casserole ever.
It was awesome, guys.
And she actually used some stuff from Deep South, like my onions that I had dehydrated, and then I browned them in the oven and made like a French fried onion, I guess you would say, and it was delicious.
There's Amy. Hey, girl. Good to see you.
I'm glad you're here.
Future Dreams of Reality. Miss Sarah said her and her mom went to a U-Picket farm today, and they have a ton of canning to do.
You better get busy. Make some videos.
Yep. And then here we have your...
That was the blueberry jelly from the canning class. And so Somebody made the statement they saw that I had wrote syrup on the top. Well, when the canning class was over, it still had not gelled.
Right.
So after they left, I wrote syrup on it. The next they taste wonderful. We've been canning them. Danny likes shelling them because he's been shelling most of them.
I got a sheller, but I just like shelling them. I mean, everything.
We don't have enough to really drag the sheller out.
If we do as many as we do. Yeah.
Something must have happened. They're hollering, ouch.
Ouch.
It was probably lightning then. I hear it thundering again.
Yeah, the satellite's trying to mess up in there again, but maybe it'll still keep going. But we're green down here. We're still
saying lost audio is a squeal.
Aliens. Ah! Check your mic. Check your mic, Wanda. Okay, no sound. Hang on. Okay, now it's all better, they said. Okay. Have no idea what happened, guys. I know it's lightning pretty bad outside, so.
Yeah. That's what we thought, because we had nothing going on our end.
We didn't hear nothing.
So I'm sorry about your ears. It probably was lightning or something that went through the whole system.
That's probably what it is.
We can blame it on aliens.
We can blame it on them, yeah.
Yeah. And on top of all this that I've told you guys that we canned, I have all these fruit berries in the freezer that have to have something done with. I've not done hardly any jellies. And the apple peelings I just cooked down. I got a gallon of juice off the apple peelings. So that means at least 2, if not 3, batches of apple jelly that I've got to can soon. I've got blueberries. I've got raspberries, mulberries, huckleberries, blackberries, mayhaws. But I didn't get enough mayhaws, I don't think, to make jelly. It's going to be, I don't think there's enough to cook down. I don't think there's enough really to make it. So all these jellies have to be made at some point. But we still have a cellar with a lot of jellies. So I'm not sure if I'm making jellies yet or not. And we may try to make syrups instead of jellies out of some of them. Yeah. Because I would just as soon have syrup that I can pour over cakes or pancakes or into something else.
Terry, yes, you can mix the blueberries. It won't be any problem.
You mix pink lemonade, blueberries, and regular. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it won't be no problem.
Yeah.
Sarah says her mom is snapping peas right now.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we've been busting our butts up until just a few minutes ago.
Yeah. What are mayhaws?
What are mayhaws?
Explain what a mayhaw is.
Mayhaws usually grow in the river swamps down south here.
We have, what, 5 or 6 trees?
We've got about 5 trees we planted in a wet location. Now, they're not in water like they are in the river swamps, but they make a little red berry on them. Some people actually say they're the same thing as a hawthorn. I'm not, don't quote me on that.
Because I don't know what a hawthorn is.
But I have heard that that the mayhaw and the hawthorn are both the same thing.
Yeah. And somebody says, do we ever can the juice? I have canned like scuppernong and, what's this one back here? Scuppernong and muscadine juice. We have canned pear juice, apple juice, things like that. Yeah. So I still have some of those in the cellar. So we do that. And jellies would be good for fighting off starvation. Yeah. That's why we do so many jellies, is because if a situation happened where we didn't go to town, I am a sugaraholic. And one way to save me from going stir crazy and not having my sugar is to have jellies and jams and syrups.
Azaleen, you water bath blueberries. You do not pressure can them.
Yeah. I got breathed wanting pancakes and French toast with syrup on it. Oh.
Oh, let's see. Stringing and breaking a bushel of green beans now, Deb Free Donna says.
Quake Lake says they are in the same family. Whether they're the same thing or not, but they are in the same family.
Okay.
Oh, Christine had strawberry pancakes
for dinner.
Well, I had baked a cake a while ago and sliced it and poured some of Albany Mountain's spiced peach syrup over it. Y'all asked Albany Mountain for her recipe for spiced peach syrup. That stuff is like, oh my goodness in a jar. It has a cinnamon taste and oh, it's awesome.
Old South Homestead says, thank you, Wanda, for your advice. The cilantro was our best seller today.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
And there's Domingos Mundos. They canned figs tonight.
So did we.
We did too. Yeah. I busted a jar.
Yes.
Well, I didn't do it.
It just happened. Oh, okay.
Y'all need some help, and whoever needs to bring a case of jars.
Yeah. Do your mayhaws have long, sharp spikes? Yes, they do.
Mayhaws were scarce this year in Louisiana. Okay.
Well, maybe it wasn't just ours then. Maybe they were just scarce this year.
Saddle Ridge wants a shirt like I got on. I found this for $1 at the shirt sale that I went to at a secondhand store that I actually paid 50 cents for when I got to the counter. So a 50-cent shirt.
Terry, no, you cannot freeze your cucumbers for pickling later. They'll just turn to mush.
Yeah, if you need to do pickles, you need to do them within the week. I wouldn't save cucumbers more than 3 to 5 days probably. Yes, our blueberry jelly did set up.
Yeah, it did set up.
It wasn't jam that we made, it was jelly. Jam has the fruit in it. The jelly is simply the juice. Where is the best place to buy canning jars? We've been getting ours through Walmart.
We just get ours at Walmart. That seems to be the cheapest place we could find.
We looked online on Amazon, and a lot of those places are ripping y'all off because we can get at Walmart under $10, and some of the places on Amazon are $10 and up.
$15.
$10 to $15.
Now you have to be careful when you're buying canning jars. A lot of people will buy what's called the mason jar, and they come with gold lids on them, and those gold lids will not hold up for very long. They will start rusting, and we don't even use them unless we're doing like jellies and jams, something we know we're going to be able to eat pretty quick. But stuff that we plan on keeping over a long period of time, we use only the silver lids from Ball.
Do I ever freeze green beans instead of canning them? If so, how were they? Yes, I have, but they are like mush and rubbery.
They're like eating a rubber fish.
I do not like canned green beans. Now, I will put them in the freezer if I only have a few. I don't do anything to them. I just snap them and put them in the freezer in a Ziploc. And when I get enough for a canning, then I'll take them out. Because in that way, you're putting them in the jars. You kind of thaw them out in some warm water, put them in the jars, and put your salt in them and cook them. And you won't know the difference in a year or two of whether they were frozen or not. But if you take them out frozen and put them in a pot and cook them, they just taste horrible. I don't like them. Other people might, but I don't.
My cucumbers are getting only a few inches long and they've fallen off the vine. Christy, that's usually when it happens like that. It may not be every time, but usually they're not getting enough water.
Yeah.
Is it okay to can blueberries that have been frozen? You can make jellies and jams out of them.
Yeah, you can do anything with frozen blueberries. I make my pies out of them.
Yeah.
We freeze our blueberries all the time.
Steel Horse says, do you get Ball or I lost it there or the store brand? We usually only get Ball.
Yeah, usually the silver Ball lids.
You go back up and look at it.
Right there.
Right there.
Do we use the Ball Blue Book? Yes, we have 3 different years, 10 years apart. I think we have 2000. It might be 1999, 1989, and 2009. I believe those are the 3 years we have, or something similar.
Yeah. Teresa says, what do you think about mulberries? I really want to get me a tree started. They're great. Just don't put them near a vehicle or anywhere or sidewalks or anything like that because they will stain the fool out of stuff when the birds get in them.
Yeah, we have one big mulberry that's what, 10 or 12 years old?
Yeah.
And it produces little small mulberries. And then we planted 2 mulberries in the back that produced the big long mulberries, and they started producing this year and did awesome. Okay.
Let's see here.
Have you ever dehydrated peppers? Yes.
Yes.
I do dehydrate peppers and onions, tomatoes. I did some blueberries, but it just takes so long to dehydrate them. It's just easier to leave them in the freezer or either make jams and jellies. What else did I dehydrate? I dehydrated.
We just dehydrate everything. Figs, onions, everything.
Yeah, I did figs, onions.
Garlic.
Yeah.
We made our own garlic powder.
Yeah, I did. All kinds of stuff. Still got enough garlic powder for a while. Okay, what else we got going on? Okay, let me talk about something else right quick that I forgot. Okay. We were part of a collaboration. It came out this morning with, where'd it go? I know I wrote it down. The disaster collaboration. What we would do, things, the concerns we would have in a disaster and some of the solutions, I guess. And so that was with Naked Hog and Cog Hill Farms. And both of them have videos up. If you watched ours this morning, both of them got their videos up later in the day. So if you would go over and bounce to both of theirs. A collaboration we started back in March was called Our World Homestead. Or Our Homestead World, I'm sorry. And we were hoping to get a lot of you guys that have channels doing a video and uploading it and telling us that you have. So if you have a channel and you put in, go in, look at Our Homestead World playlist. We have in our description all the questions. You can answer them. Let me know when you upload a video and I will add it to our playlist. So that was 2 collaborations I wanted to talk about before we get lost here.
Connie says, do you do anything special when you dehydrate the onions? Do them outside.
Yes.
I'm going to turn the AC.
Yeah. Onions and garlic. Well, I dehydrate most everything outside because it's already humid here and we don't want the humidity in the house. And so I have a place on my porch that I take my dehydrator out. But with the onions, I just sliced them and put them in the dehydrator. And then to make like a French style onion, once they dehydrated, I stuck them in the oven for just a few seconds because they will burn in a heartbeat if you don't watch. But it will brown them up real pretty and give them that toasted taste.
Let's see here.
Albany says she's glad I enjoyed the peach syrup. I'll try to do a video on that soon. Okay. Because, y'all, that peach syrup, the spice peach syrup was awesome. I would love to get a freeze-dry machine, but they are so expensive. Any suggestions?
Yes. I don't know. Well, I'll be honest with you. We're not really crazy about freeze-dried stuff.
No.
I hate to say it. There's nothing wrong with it if you like it, but we just do not care for it at all.
I don't dehydrate chives because we have so many in the yard that I can have them fresh anytime I want them.
We have so many. Yeah, we have hundreds of thousands.
Talking about the freeze-dried, Empty Hammett did freeze-dried blueberries. He took some of our blueberries back and freeze-dried them and brought them back the next time he came. And they are good, but it's so much better to be able to eat them fresh or frozen out of the freezer than having to deal with it. But for long-term storage, yes, that is a way to go because I have some in Mylar bags for down the road. And is the Homestead World a website page or a channel? It is a playlist in our, you go to our videos to our homepage on Deep South Homestead and look at playlist, and it's called Our Homestead World. O-U-R, Our Homestead World in a playlist.
What do you think about vacuum sealing food to preserve it?
We do vacuum seal.
We do vacuum seal some things.
In jars, we vacuum seal rice, oatmeal, grits,
flour.
We oven can
the flour.
dried
beans,
mixed vegetables that have been dehydrated.
Now we do in the vacuum sealer that uses the plastic. We do put things like noodles, pastas, spices, and things like that. We do put those kind of things and vacuum seal them in the plastic bags. Let me say that. And we have vacuum sealed remember our dried English peas we did.
We did English peas, green beans, carrots. We dehydrated all of those.
Yeah.
Then we vacuum sealed them in individual packs about how much I thought I would need at a time.
Yeah.
And then Danny put them in Mylar bags and sealed those. So they are double sealed, I guess you would say, for future down the road if we need them. The older dehydrators, the little round ones, we have 2 of those, do not hold a candle to the Excalibur.
No, they don't hold a candle.
I did not like anything I dehydrated. It took long periods of time, and it was not dehydrated evenly in the little round ones. But the Excalibur, it just has a temperature gauge. It works fine and dandy. It just it's just a little...
Do you guys eat popcorn? We do occasionally, but we have jars and jars of it stored.
Yeah. Wendy Akers killed a 6-foot chicken snake today.
He will never eat an egg again.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's what happens here too.
Yeah. So we really like the Excalibur. When you're talking about freeze-dried foods, and I'm going to go off on a limb and a tangent and probably make a lot of people mad, but I got to do it anyway because I never did a video on this, but we were given some Thrive Life food. And we've had a lot of people ask us what we think of it, and I do not like freeze-dried foods. Now, if it was the fruits like apples and stuff, yes.
Yeah, they're okay.
Green beans, corn, potatoes, the meat is horrific.
The meat's like eating dog food.
No.
No,
I would rather go get a squirrel and cook it than eat that Thrive Life food. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah.
If you sell it, if you like it, you go for it.
Go for it. Yeah, it's just everything's not for everybody.
Yeah. If it for
As a matter of fact,
storage,
just go ahead and be honest with them. As a matter of fact, we had some people who came here. We shared 2 different people. We shared Thrive Life with them, and they ate it, and within minutes,
we're totally sick.
They were sick and doubled up. And
it is not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
The 2 people that came here, it put them in horrific pain within 1 to 2 minutes of eating it, and one of them was sick for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
The other one, and I mean, not a lot of food. It just
just a small amount.
And one of them only simply tasted it, and time it went to her stomach, it caused her to have intense pain.
Yeah.
So Thrive Life, if you use it literally, test it first.
Test it first before you go and buy a bunch of it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It just, something about it, you have to know. Long-term storage, if you put it up and don't need it, good. If you need it, but I'd say don't eat it every day. It's going to cause issues.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I tried. I just did not like it. I'd rather have my canned stuff. I know where it came from. But if you don't have a garden, then buy dehydrated or not, freeze-dried food.
Yeah, buy some freeze-dried stuff.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it, but
yeah, I always just tell people can your own stuff. I mean,
go to the store, go to farmers markets, buy it, can it, dehydrate it, whatever you got to do. It's not for me. I just do not. The freeze dried is overrated.
It is really.
I'm just going to tell you that now. Are you going to dehydrate any water this year?
It depends. It depends.
We've been dehydrating water.
We are in the process of changing some muffler bearings and some blinker fluid. So there was a question back here. Somebody asked a while ago. I want to get it. Home Talk says my Danny corn starting to sprout. Amanda says we love popcorn. Let's see here.
Yeah, the Excalibur can do much more than dehydrate. After I did all this craziness with the yogurt in a crock pot, I went to do something in my dehydrator and realized I could have put it in the dehydrator and kept the temperature at a controlled temperature the whole time. As it is, I ruined a whole gallon of crock pot yogurt. It was awful.
Somebody asked a question back here a while ago. I was thinking it was a Marshall Farms. Danny, with the grid down situation, what would you do with everything in your freezer to keep from losing it? I would start canning it instantly.
Yes. Dehydrating what you can dehydrate.
Dehydrate what I can dehydrate and can what I can.
And eat
the rest before I fool with anything in jars.
Barter with neighbors that need some food quick and go for it. I love whole freeze-dried strawberries. Yes, the fruits.
The fruits are okay. Like the blueberries we had was good. The strawberries was pretty good. Some of the peaches and apples and stuff like that was pretty good. But
this is the other thing. If you eat dehydrated food, please drink water.
Yes.
Because what it's doing, it's going into your system and then it's rehydrating.
It's rehydrating in you.
Pulling something from your system to rehydrate.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to eat freeze-dried foods, you have to put more water into your system. If not, you're going to have problems. That's how come the two people that were here, even though we had rehydrated the food when one of them was here and cooked with it, it still hit her stomach and caused intense pain for hours.
Let's see here. Where are we at?
I don't know. Olin says he does something in Excalibur and gets 12 quarts in a batch. I'm not really sure which one he's talking about there. I missed a comment somewhere.
Where do you get Mylar bags at, Ms. Mary Smith says? You can order them online in just about any place. Uline, any of those places, you can pick them up.
Cheryl
Danny says, my squash wilted and never came back. Any thoughts? Probably vine borers. Squash vine borers.
Yeah, that goes for dehydrated foods too. If you eat dehydrated foods, drink water.
Yes.
Because they are going to take something out of your system to rehydrate.
Azaleen, I have never been successful using powdered milk to make yogurt. I can't say that.
I've never tried it. What brand dehydrator we use? Excalibur.
The Excalibur. Yes, you can get your Mylar bags on Amazon also.
Yes. Yogurt. Oh, he said he did his yogurt that way. Okay, I gotcha. I tried making yogurt. I tried it with the little, I don't forgot the name brand, but it's a little yogurt machine. And I put the milk that we bought at the dairy in there. It was okay. I could eat it, but it was not what I expected.
Right.
And then when I did the crock pot yogurt, I'm sorry, it just tasted horrid. I mean, I tried adding stuff to it and everything. I don't know if the temperature did not stay where it should have been or whatever, but I did exactly like everybody said, and it just really, I didn't like the crock pot yogurt. I'm not a fan of it.
Charlotte said, Mr. Danny, ever grow spaghetti squash? Yes, we grew them last year and had one that actually lasted over a year. We kept it in the house here. And we cooked it a year later, and it was still good.
Yeah. Home Talk says they're growing
Danny corn aquaponics.
Wow.
Wow, and I would like to see that.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. You can add powdered milk to your Milton starter yogurt to make. Yes, I read that too, that if you wanted to make your yogurt thicker, you can add the powdered milk to it. Albany Mountain now, she let me try her yogurt and it was awesome. I'm going to tell you what, now I need Albany Mountain's recipe for making yogurt because I was leery of tasting it that day, and once I did, it was awesome. But I have not, my recipes that I'm finding just don't taste good. I'm not liking them. What traps do you recommend for survival situation?
We use live traps, and we use the traps that catches them on the legs. We don't use any big heavy traps now. We use the small ones.
Yes, Marshall Farms, my country girl milk went to waste. Well, actually, I used it in cooking. I didn't like eating it, so I used the yogurt in place of butter in cakes and stuff, and that's what I'm doing with it now. I'm not really throwing it out. I just didn't like the taste of it. It just it just tasted really, really sour.
Amanda says she makes her yogurt in the oven, the no strain method.
Well, you got to come to Mississippi and make me some yogurt.
See, Albert says they used to make theirs using the Nubians. Now, we always made ours with Nubians too.
Yeah, and I used the yogurt machine, and I had to add some honey to it, and I could eat the yogurt machine yogurt. It tasted okay, but the crock pot yogurt was just really sour, tangy, and now it after a few days looks almost like cottage cheese, and I am not a cottage cheese fan. You don't like the Conibear traps?
No, they're fine.
Okay.
I prefer the ones that snap around their leg, and I prefer live traps. Live traps is what I really prefer, because when you snap something around its leg or something like that, or if you snap it and kill it in a trap, then you only have so much time to get there before it could start spoiling on you. Infection could start setting up if you just catch a leg or something. So I really prefer the live one so that I can just, take it out whenever I get there.
Yeah, and Lou's Northern Home wants to know, has anybody made it in an Instapot yet? I looked at the recipe for the Instapot, and it was just too much trouble. There were too many steps, and it would take the act of Congress to make it. I am not a fan of it. Anything that's got that many steps to it, no.
Ann says, how is your sweet potatoes doing this year? Well,
we showed a picture earlier.
I'll show you. Here we go. This is our earlier field that we planted early. We have like 4 or 5 different stages of sweet potatoes. This is our first field stage. There's about, there's 75, 150, close to 200 something, a little over 200 sweet potato draws set out in this one field right here. And then we have close to 700 planted all together, and they're in different stages.
Yeah, and the next is the blooms.
And then this is what the bloom looks like on the sweet potato plant. As you can see, the bees in the one on the left helping to pollinate them. And they are in the morning glory family, so that's one reason they resemble a morning glory family. Bloom.
You're going to turn both of them off.
Okay, let me get out of these now.
Yeah, so
there we go.
That's the first field we planted. Now the second field we planted has twice that many.
Yes.
And we're pulling weeds now. We let it get out of hand. We've been canning so much that we haven't gotten over there and pulled weeds. So we've got part of 4 rows left to pull weeds out of. If anybody wants to come pull weeds, come on early in the morning.
The Stella, the dehydrator will heat your house up like crazy. So we don't even put ours in the house. We leave it outside.
Okay, Living Miracle said they've had a stomach bug for a couple of days.
Okay, Sharon Brasher says, is it too early to save seeds from rattlesnake beans? Not if they're dry. Leave them hanging on the plant until they dry, and you can harvest them anytime you want. But just realize when you leave them on the plant, that signals the plant that it is through making beans, and it will quit producing on you.
Yeah, and somebody want to know whether the bloom's edible. Yes, the blooms on the sweet potatoes are, and the leaves are edible. So you can eat both if you wanted. Marshall Farms planted 100 slips, and they're doing great. Sweet potatoes are in the nightshade family.
No, sweet potatoes are not.
No, not in the nightshade. They're in the morning glory.
They're in the morning glory family.
Yeah.
Nightshade family is things like your red potatoes, your Irish potatoes, and stuff. And those sweet potato is not actually in the sweet potato family. It's not in the potato family at all.
Yeah, it's a tuber.
It's a tuber. It's in the morning glory family.
Yeah. Sweet potato leaves are edible, but do they taste good? They have a similar to. It's not like turnip greens. It's more of a.
More like a collard. Yeah,
they're tougher than a tender green or anything, but they are edible and they do taste okay. I'm not big on a lot of greens. We like our tender greens best, and a few collards and a little kale.
Laura, Heidi said, tell Heather to weed. Oh, it actually says if you still have one of those pies to feed her, she'll come weed all day.
I've got a pie in the freezer. Come on. Be here by 6 o'clock. We'll weed. I'd have fun. We'd get through. She and I'd get through. You wouldn't even have to go out there.
Future Dreams to Reality says, I've heard the regular potato flowers are poisonous. Yes, the whole potato plant's poisonous, as a matter of fact.
Do not eat a regular potato plant.
Universal Homestead says they love sweet potato leaves fried in olive oil.
And John Hendrickson says that they are a major source of food in Africa. Yes, and they really are good for you. And the little stems are good for you.
Yeah.
They use them in stir fry.
Sarah says they have purple sweet potatoes growing right now. We have purple sweet potatoes growing. We have white sweet potatoes growing. We have red sweet potatoes growing. We have all of them growing.
Do we have more sweet potatoes that need to go up?
We have some more white sweet potato draws if anybody wanted any.
I'll put some on Etsy. There'll be some more white sweet potatoes draws or slips on Etsy tonight or tomorrow, whenever I think about it.
Jan says, when do you plant the tender greens? We won't plant ours until probably late September.
Yeah. Ashley, come on. I'm not tempting you. I'm begging you.
Yeah. Jen Bunny says, have you ever grown greasy grit beans? I'm still learning when to pick them. We have the greasy beans here. We got them from Jared from Flutie Lick Homestead, but we did not get a chance to plant them this year because we had already planted our other beans when we got them in.
Yeah. And Freedom Makers wants to know what's our favorite way to cook Malabar spinach. I do not cook it. I eat it straight off the vine. I just go out, pick leaves, and eat it.
Sarah said they don't have room for all those this year. They just planted the purple.
And Mark says his AC went out. It's hot. Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, Lord. That would be bad here. Can you grow sweet potatoes in containers? Yes, you can. Just make sure you keep them watered to start with.
We grew some last year.
Yeah, we grew them last year. They worked out fine.
Kevin says he's planting green beans today. All right, so pretty much we've kind of covered. If you guys are going to be eating out of a jar like we do, and we do not buy vegetables in town, we have a wide variety of vegetables, as you can see. Some people want to know, don't we get tired of eating the same thing? Well, we have a lot of recipes to use our stuff in. So, you know, like everybody, if you like tomato sandwiches and you have plenty of tomatoes, you'll probably eat one every day for a while. But eventually you're going to decide you're tired of it and you want a ham sandwich or something. We do the same thing. We have potatoes, and Danny likes them in the air fryer since we've gotten the air fryer. I'll do those every day for a while. Then he'll get tired of them. We won't have them anymore for a while. And like today I did mashed potatoes. Well, he'll eat mashed potatoes for a couple of days till he finishes those off.
Yeah.
And then I won't do them again for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. And so that's why we keep a variety. We keep a variety of recipes to do all the things with. What is the yield from a single sweet potato plant?
Depends on how nutritious the soil is. It can be anywhere from 1 to 5 pounds.
Can you eat the skins on sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
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 Now, if they've been in town, the kind you buy in town, the skin on the outside is tough, you might not. But the sweet potatoes, like when you grow them fresh, before the skin gets really tough, yeah.
Sharon says, is there anything you can plant this time of the year? Yeah, you can plant squash. You can plant okra, peas, field peas, that is. Now, not English peas, but field peas. That's probably going to be narrowing it down. You can plant pepper plants this time of the year. You can plant tomato plants. Mm-hmm. But just be warned that tomatoes do not set fruit at temperatures above 85 degrees.
Yeah, our tomatoes are going.
Our tomatoes are starting to go downhill pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we doing prayers?
Yeah.
Because we kind of, I'll probably take down the first live stream, so the first one will come down, and we'll just leave this one up. Because we kind of covered what we started with the other one, and the other one kind of messed up really bad.
Teresa, you have to pressure can Irish potatoes. You cannot water bath them.
Yeah, and what is the difference between field peas and English peas?
Field pea is a southern pea made to grow in the heat. English pea is made to be grown in cool weather only. And they're a lot sweeter.
English peas are the little green peas that you buy, like Lesueurs and Green Giant and all that. Field peas would be what you get in the freezer section called, what do they call them? They call just, I can't remember.
Most of them sell them as dry beans. But I mean,
you can get them as dried beans, but in the freezer section, it looks like black-eyed peas in the freezer section, but they're actually what you call field peas. I can't remember if that's what they call them or not. It's been so long since I bought any.
Wendy Acres Farm says, my tomatoes aren't turning red. Tomatoes do not turn red in temperatures over 85 degrees. They will sit there and stay green forever.
It'll take them
It'll take them a long time to turn. So if they're mature, you can probably pull them off and bring them inside, and they'll turn in the house.
Now, cherry tomatoes are different.
Yeah, cherry tomatoes are
things
different.
that turn red overnight, just bam, bam, bam. But the big old tomatoes, sometimes you have, if they're big enough, you take them off, bring them in, they'll start turning.
Steel Horses said she planted purple peas last year. The wasp moved in and took the bed over. Couldn't get near it. Wasp are what does a lot of our pollinating. They don't usually bite you. You just take a stick or something ahead of you and kind of bump the plants around like that, and the wasp will fly away, and you can pick the peas. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't act scared of the wasp.
Yeah, I'm not saying they won't bite you, but I mean, as long as most part they don't when they're feeding. Okay.
Okay. It's very dangerous on and off the Amtrak. Okay. Her son. All right.
Okay.
Anyone else taking notes? Danny's supposed to start his gardening class. He hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, I just haven't had time. I mean, gosh, we're staying so busy here with canning and picking and everything.
Several people said they got their T-shirts. Danny's got his.
I've got one. We've got the new T-shirt. Only getting the right direction.
Several people got Crazy Days T-shirts. Some of them got the Deep South T-shirts. If you still want to order, in the links below, you can still order. I'll probably leave the link in the description for a while. As long as 5 people order, they will print. So if you order and there isn't 5 people ordering, they won't ever charge your account, and you won't get a shirt. But at least 5 people order, they will make more shirts. Yes. And they are very soft and feel good.
They feel good, really good.
Really nice shirts. Yeah, canning season is on. We're winding down though. We're up to the peak of our canning season. We're starting on the downhill slope.
Yeah. John, I am working on getting the blueberry pruning video out. We just gotta
possibly this next week.
We're hoping it's gonna be this coming week because blueberry season is over here, and you usually prune them as soon as season's over.
Yeah. Oh, Old South had a peacock show up. I don't know. I kind of wanted a peacock till I thought about the noise they make.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to talk Danny into a cur puppy. What do y'all think?
She's trying to talk me into buy a cur dog, and I would love to have a cur dog, but my neighbor's barking dogs has really made me hate dogs right now.
Yeah, but if our baby didn't see, should we get a cur puppy? Y'all tell us.
No.
I need help.
We'll have to think about that one.
We don't want a barking dog that barks all the time, but if company comes up or if there's something in the yard, I would like a dog.
Yeah, we would like a dog.
But we sell seeds. We sell a few seeds. We have tomatoes, like Amish paste and yellow.
We have several different tomato seeds varieties.
On Etsy. I don't think we have much of anything else.
Not right now. We've got a few Cherokee tan pumpkins that's going to be coming up here before long.
Maybe next month.
Maybe next month. And then,
Mr. John says, yes, a cur. See? We've got it. We didn't want to get a dog till the whole outer perimeter was fenced. So now the outer perimeter is fenced. And we have a friend that has curs, and the cur is what he's been wanting. And he just doesn't like this barking all the time. But I know this one shouldn't. But it's not a promise.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yes, he's probably going to do All God's Children. He might go live again. Huh?
I probably will, yeah, at some point. Lori says, wondering about the cabin you had started. It's on hold right now because we've had to do some infrastructure work on our place here we wasn't planning on. We built this studio room we wasn't planning on. We've had some things happen.
The porch was messing up here the way the
valleys
came in, and we had to redo and restructure, so we decided to turn it into a room, which cost money. So the cabin had to go on hold. Then we had dogs coming onto our property. We had things happening. We had to stop, so we had to fence the whole outer perimeter. Things have cost money here lately that we had to put the cabin on hold, but we're hoping by September, October to be back on the cabin, hopefully.
We're hoping.
That's our goal. We want to try and work on it in the fall when it's cooled off some.
Okay.
I've been converted from a cat lover to a dog lover. See, I'm not a cat person.
Yeah, that's what Shay said.
I've never been a cat person. I've never really been an animal person, but all of a sudden I'm starting to like animals, and Danny's created a monster.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, we got to get off of here.
Yeah.
It's already good. 9:30, so yeah, we got to get off, and we got to get to bed. We got a lot to do tomorrow, so we got to try to get caught up on what we're doing. So.
Well, my daughter's best friend's dad passed away yesterday, so I remember Bridget and her family. Somebody else, I had it written down. Let me look. Big Bear's kids.
Yeah, his daughters.
His daughters were outside yesterday when a big storm come up, and they were less than 10 feet from where lightning struck, but both of them seemed to be okay. They're watching them. So we do want to remember Big Bear's family and the girls. Amy was on here earlier. I had her, Amy Sutherland. Nikki and Fred, their dog Addie passed away yesterday. That was what their homestead was, Addie Girls Homestead. And they've had their dog for a long, long time. And Nikki's going through cancer treatments and stuff. But, so we want to keep Nikki and Fred in our prayers.
Christine said her boy passed away last July. So
July's a hard month.
July's a hard month. It is for me. July's a hard month for me. My wife passed away in July.
7 years ago.
7 years ago today. And my body reacts to it. No, on the 27th of the month. But my body reacts to it. I don't even realize it. All of a sudden, I just start feeling weird, and it's my body just goes through some. I don't even know what it does.
So July, if Danny seems a little off or different, and during July, y'all don't think much about it because this is a weird month.
It's a hard month for me.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Lots of times it just, even though he doesn't think about it, sometimes his body reacts.
Yeah.
And let's see who else. Miss Kathleen, Dee, Tim, Jim, Joel, Kelly, J. Marie, Okie Rob. We got all of these people and all these that have been put in the chat.
Yeah. Now all of them has come up in the chat tonight. I saw someone said pray that their loan goes through on their house, that they're looking at it, or their homestead.
And
we want to mention the Lori family's trying to sell their house. Pray that they sell their house. Amanda from Freedom Acres, she has some personal requests that she's talked to me about. We want to make sure that she is granted the desires of her heart, and that God puts her where He wants her in the center of His will. We want to pray about. I have a personal one that I want to pray about a situation that I'm having to deal with, that I really want closure on.
And Homestead Hippie asked us to pray for them. I can't remember exactly. You're going to have to remind me. I know she's going to have to remind me what it was. I remember reading it the other day, but it's not coming to me exactly. If you want specifics, because I did read it, but I've got like 50 things going through my mind on which ones to say and not say. Put it that way.
Yeah. And our anniversaries this month. My birthday's this month.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Heidi Lori's birthday's this month. That's why she's reminding y'all.
Yeah. There's so much this month. I mean, this month is kind of like a love-hate for me, because my anniversary comes first, then comes my birthday, and then comes the death of my former wife, all in 1 month. And it's like a love-hate month for me, but.
Yes, Danny and I will be married 5 years on the 19th of July.
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years.
That has passed fast.
Very fast. Okay, we got to pray before we.
Now he's older than 5 years old, though.
When is my birthday, Danny? My birthday is on the 24th of this month. So, let's see.
Amanda said someone contacted her about their son Justin that was in a bad motorcycle accident
this afternoon. Okay.
Okay, Kathy Stevens.
I remember she said she had a stomach virus. Yeah.
Yeah, Living Miracle is Kathy Stevens with a stomach virus.
Yeah.
Stevens' son. I'm sorry. I always.
Charlotte said she has a doctor visit she needs to go to. Somebody a while ago said they had a problem. I remember said they had a problem with toothache or their teeth or something a while ago.
And Albany Mountains.
So her mom passed unexpectedly. Aunt passed unexpectedly. Her mom's sister or her dad's sister, one of them, passed unexpectedly. Okay, so we're going to go to the Lord in prayer because we got to get off here. We got to go to bed because we got a lot to do tomorrow. We got to get.
We're pulling weeds.
We're pulling weeds. Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you tonight, Father. We just want to lift up our voices to you, and we want to pray and ask that you. Gosh, Father, there's so many requests made here tonight. It'd be almost impossible for us to remember each and every one of them, but you heard us talking about them. And Lord, we want to bring every one of those petitions before you tonight. We want to ask you that you grant them, Father. We claim the promise in Scripture where you said the fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much, Lord. So we want to pray for all these requests that was made. You tell us to bear one another's burdens, and that's what we're doing, Father. So we want to be able to bear each other's burdens. We want to pray for all the requests made on the live chat here tonight, Father, and ask that each and every one of them would be answered now. And Lord, but do it in a way that would glorify you, edify your kingdom, and bring peace and joy and comfort to the person that has asked the request tonight, Father. Lord, we want to pray for the 4th, Lord, of the birthday of our country. Father, there's going to be a lot of people, enjoying themselves, and we pray that they can have a joyful time and that nothing major happens in our country, and that we can just have a joyful 4th, Father, and everybody can just can be blessed. And Father, I want to pray tonight the blessings of obedience on each and every one in this room tonight, Father. Because it seems like everybody wants to be a homesteader. It seems like everybody wants to be able to be prepared. And Father, the blessings of obedience is all about being prepared. Lord, it's all about you preparing for us. You're making our storehouses last from season to season. You make us the head and not the tail. Father, you do some awesome things with us in the blessings of obedience if we're obedient to you, Father. You make us first. You may not make us last. If someone comes after us in one direction, Lord, you said they run from us in 7 directions. So, Father, just all kinds of things. We're blessed if we go in the city. We're blessed if we go in the country. Father, everything about the blessings of obedience is just awesome. But along with it, we want to ask that everyone be granted the fruits of the Spirit also, Lord. Love, peace, joy, happiness, long-suffering, all these things, Father, we want for each and every person in this room tonight. And we want healing for those that are sick here, Lord. We want to be able to have strongholds broke down, Father, and lives renewed here tonight. And Father, we want to just be able to see that people who are trying to start their homesteads, Lord, in prayer. We have one that mentioned a loan going through. Father, we pray that their loan will go through. Everything will go well. The offer they made will be accepted. And Father, they'll be able to have the place of their dreams and get on the road to living the life that they want to live tonight, Father. And Lord, I just want to thank you for just being with us. Watch over everybody through the weather that's coming through this country, Father. Some of it can be severe. Some people are going through drought. We just pray for the ones that are going through drought that they can get the rain they need, Lord. And the ones that's going through severe weather, they can have protection. The ones that's being flooded out, Lord, that they can seem to find some kind of restitution and the ground can dry up and their crops can produce now. So, Father, give each and every one of us a blessed night and a restful night. We ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
The one thing I was thinking of, August the 11th, I've had several people say they wanted me to do a second canning class. If you are interested, let me know before the middle of July. This is July. I was supposed to say June, but July.
July.
By around July the 15th, if I know that there's enough people want to come to a canning class August the 11th, then I will have another one. If not, then you know, I'm not going to have one, but I just Gmail, let's see, deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. Let me know. That way I can kind of set it up. I'm not doing anything in July because, like we said, this month is just a little off, and we're just going to chill for the month and do our thing. So I guess that's pretty much it. Look for a video on Crazy Days next week on Red Hot Pickles. And what else we got going on? Maybe on Deep South, we
might have some blueberry pruning. We might do a live stream on Gardening 101. It just depends on how the week goes.
It'll probably be in the afternoon, right?
It could be around dinner time.
Yeah.
When I'm in the house, yeah.
Sometime around then. What else we got coming up? Nothing?
Just canning.
I can't do all canning videos.
Well, I mean, that's what we're going to be doing.
I don't know, guys. If we miss a day, y'all, it's like this week. I had porch time off a day. I'm sorry, porch time came out on Monday. And then I missed a day this week on Deep South because we've just been busy.
We're so busy. We missed a day on the videos, yeah.
But I'll try to keep up as much as possible. If you don't see anything on Deep South, check Crazy Days. If you don't see something on Crazy Days, check Deep South. We're bouncing back and forth, guys.
Okay. Good night, guys. We love each and every one of you. So y'all have a blessed night and a blessed and a safe 4th of July.
Thank you, guys. Bye.